So I was running a little bit late today. I got stuck in doing some paperwork and completely lost track of time. So I didn't even have time to do a new thumbnail or anything like that. We've got like 30 seconds until EU market opens. And it's a big day today. We've got a lot of news. So I want to be up late tonight because FOMC in the US is 10 p.m. my time, so it's going to be a long day. I don't know how long this trading session is going to be. I'm going to try and conserve as much energy as possible and kind of mental energy as much as possible. So I have got a bit of catching up to do. Yesterday wasn't a very good day. In fact, this whole week hasn't been very good. I've had back-to-back losers. So market is open. Yeah, so basically just looking to do a bit of catch up, but not chase the market, just trade as I normally would. I mentioned it last time. I seem to be going through this boom and bust phase at the moment for some reason, and I need to curb that as much as possible. Emotions are getting a little bit the better of me at the moment. I'm not too sure why that is. I think it's mainly just a bit of stress. Alright, so markets open. You're going to be looking for the usual setups. Quite a little bit of congestion here in the FTSE. I think we are slightly gapped down in the FTSE today. And the DAX, we are just above. So the DAX has given us two pretty horrible days of congestion and trading range. Yesterday, not too bad. We did have a breakout. I had some bad luck though because I got stopped out for break even before the market actually rallied, and it was a really nice rally as well. I didn't get back in. Couldn't get the emotions back to baseline, so I left it at that. But the day before was an absolute horror. It was only the overnight trading session did it actually rally out of this range. So looking a little bit better today. We've got a bit of pre-market direction. We had this range over here. We've broken above it, come back into it, and now we're retesting that high. So let's hope we don't have heavy consolidation like we've had in the past 2 days. We seem to have that at the moment in the FTSE. The FTSE's an animal on its own. It kind of just does its own thing. So we'll see. So I'm going to look to trade the traditional school run in the DAX today. Obviously the FTSE depending on what we get on the first bar. And I'm going to start actively trading the whilst actively looking for trades past the open on the FTSE. Depending on obviously whether or not I'm in a position already, but I'm going to start looking at specific bars and start trading those specific bars. There's a nice little bit of a rally in the DAX. So it looks as though we might have first bar negative in the FTSE. It's going to set up a bar order just below the opening low. So I think we'll trade that. Oh man, come on. That's not really right, but anyway. It's more like there. With a stop loss, I think, around about there. Where was this price? 9.2. No, that's right on 921. 921. Okay. What am I saying? Yeah, 9.2. Alright, so first bar positive, negative in the FTSE. We're looking for a bar just below this low. Let's see what we get. It's a bit of a tight stop loss, but I'm looking at the bottom of this. Maybe there. Let's just do the original 20 points. Okay, so a bit of a double top here in the DAX. Let's see if we pull back into this range. Alright, so it looks as though we're going to get triggered on the FTSE. Okay, so we are long the FTSE. Quite a big bar well, relatively high momentum bar. So that's not a bad looking first bar negative trade so far. We're looking up here, I believe, for profits. Maybe at the top of this range. So looking quite strong in the DAX today. to start upping the size in the FTSE soon. That's quite a big push down. Start reducing some risk here. So I'd like to see a retest of these highs. So quite a strong showing out of the DAX so far. Yeah, that's very nice out of the DAX. Wow. That's a heck of a change from the last couple of days. See if we can get that that type of rally out of the FTSE now. Reduce the risk a bit more. I want it to push up. May have been a bit quick on that stop loss placement, but you see, I'm not the type of person where if I've placed my stop loss, I won't touch it again. If I see that there's still potential for us to go to the upside and the market's playing around a little bit, I'll have no issue moving the stop loss back to where I had it. So now we're pulling back a little bit in the FTSE. Perhaps retesting these lows. I wonder. That's again quite a strong momentum candle for the FTSE. So this is the aggressive setup now in the DAX after this current 5 minute. So that'll be aggressive school run. I would look to trade it. I like there's a bit of direction here. So like before we were having inside bars after inside bars. A little bit of a breakdown now. Yep. So we were in a nice bit of profit with the FTSE. We're about 5 points in profit, and now we underwater. I may look to sell the DAX at around 730. Looking for a better price. Damn it. Pull back a little bit so I can sell you. A little bit more. I'm gonna sell the DAX here. The pretty tight stop loss. I may live to regret that, but you get a strong open and you fail to push further up. If you get a break back below this candle, I'd look for movement to the downside. Won't hold this position long, I don't think. Maybe just a bit of a scalp. Oh jeez, as I close it, it moves. It happens to me so often. Anyway, okay, so FTSE's back in profit. And we got the aggressive side setting up here in the DAX in about 1 minute and 25 seconds. So that's why I moved my stop loss back, because we just came below these lows before moving back up again. So that's why I say I've got no issue to play around with my stop loss if I see reason for it. I've already accepted that risk, so I'm not going to move it further away. But so I could have held on to that short for a little bit longer. I was looking for just a little scalp. But again, as I exit the trade, it moves back on me, so it's happened countless times. I'm not even surprised at this point. FTSE making a push back down. It seems to be in a little bit of lockstep with the DAX today. Right, so there's the aggressive side. I am going to sell it. I'll set up the long side for potential for it to turn around. Right, so we short the DAX and we are long the FTSE. Hopefully we don't get whipsawed here by the DAX a bit. Looking for a retest, probably down here around 690 if we were to start collapsing. Be mindful of this area here, however. We may have buyers just below there if we do get down to that. So I think at that point, if we can get down to this level, I'll start looking at moving stop loss. We're doing an off FTSE. Still got the traditional. So that's going to be in 7 minutes time. So I might take the 7 points here and then wait for the traditional. Let's do that. FTSE not looking too great. Looking quite weak. Probably going to come down and retest these lows. I think if we get any lower, I might look at just closing this FTSE trade out. I'm not keen on being too exposed today. I lost enough yesterday. Holding on to losers a little bit too long. Not really feeling this FTSE trade, if I'm honest. I think I might just close it out. I don't like this push down. We've had we've had one positive bar, and it's not all that positive, is it? So there's been no real indication that there's any strength in this market. I think I'm just going to close this FTSE trade out. Let's just see. Yeah, so they seem to be a little bit in lockstep today. The FTSE and the DAX. See if we get some buyers coming in here now. Would be nice. Struggling. Yeah, really struggling. I don't see much strength in the FTSE. If we get below this candle, I want to be out. Yeah, it's trying, but the sellers are just stepping straight in and knocking it back down. I don't see a lot of strength in the FTSE today, if I'm honest. What do we look like on a 15-minute? Yeah, I think I'm sensing a retest of these lows. That's just the feeling that I get anyway. I'd like to see a retest, but I just feel as if the FTSE is weak. Then we get up and then we get knocked straight back down again. I think I'm going to close this FTSE position. I don't. As I say that, let's just give it a second. Be quick to take your loss, be slow to take your profit. It's a bit better. We got school run that's going to set up now in the DAX, so let's get ready for that. Right, so I want a 4 and a 4 with a stop 40, stop 40. Trade. Right, so there's a nice little jump in the FTSE. I'm going to get my stop. Oh, come on. Get my stop to break even there. Probably a bit soon, but I want to see a retest of these highs. Right, so there's the traditional. Let's set up now in the DAX. FTSE's looking a bit better. Oh, no. Got up to here and came back down. This is probably going to be tickets. Okay, so this won't let me. Just taking the spread into account here. Come on, FTSE. I think we're going to get burnt. Straight back down again. And we're out of the FTSE. That's unfortunate. Right, DAX. Yeah, I don't see there being a lot of strength in the FTSE today. I really don't. 712. 7125. And I'll go for where is that? 5, 5. Go there. Just gonna watch this FTSE a little bit. Looks like we're gonna be filled in the DAX soon. Not just yet. So quite rangy in the FTSE today, but a very slow downwards movement. Lower lows, apart from this one, lower highs. That was the open jump around. Okay, so it looks like we are pretty much filled in the DAX. No, yes, no, yes, we are. Right, so we short DAX. Move the stop loss out the way so that we can see what's going on. Right, so short DAX. Hopefully we don't start ranging here. Hopefully we get a bit of movement. Right, so nothing all that impressive. What, 8.5 points up. So it looks like the DAX is moving against us slightly here. I'm certainly going to look at flipping the switch if needs be. But I'd like to see the DAX testing this low here at about 690. And maybe a carry on down to around 650. We do also have possible upside to yesterday's highs. So, who knows what's going to happen. The FTSE is looking weak. Alright, so now we just sit and wait. Not looking too good in the DAX. Come on, DAXy. Now you see once again it's just fooled us and gone the other way. It hasn't even given us the courtesy of being in profit for a little bit. So down the whole 18 points. And all we can do is wait. I've got some pending orders in place. USD JPY, USD CHF, and Euro JPY. Just some short orders there playing off of structure. They've still got a long way to go before they reach our order. But yeah, again, that's just playing off of traditional structure. So it looks like the DAX is settling into a bit of a range here. You know, typically on your you've got your signal candle here and then the preceding 15-minute candle. If we close oh no, now we're pushing hard. I was just about to say, if we close kind of not in profit, I then tend to like to move my stop down to just above this candle, because if we get above that, the likelihood of the short position still being valid is quite low. So I'm going to see how this candle closes, but if price gets back above this high, I don't want to be in it any longer. I'll then look to flip the switch long. So for instance, now if the next candle had to open here and moved back up, I don't really want to be in it anymore. So that's just a way to kind of decrease your risk. And it then becomes a bit of a indication that we're going to see higher prices. We're not the short then kind of becomes invalid. But it looks as though we're settling into a range. So I've decreased this risk by about 5.5 points. If we get back above this, I don't want to be in it anymore. Unless it proves later on that there is weakness, I may look to get back into it. But yeah, if it gets back above this candle's high, then I'm not interested in being short any longer. Which seems to be a likelihood of that transpiring. So it would suck, but that's just the way it goes. But yeah, DAX looks like it's settling into a bit of a range. There it goes. So FTSE's still looking pretty weak. Alright, come on DAX. Either put me out of my misery or start breaking down. Looks like it's going to be put me out of my misery. So I'm not too concerned if we do get stopped out here. There's still a lot of trading to be done today. Like I say, it's going to be a late night for me with the FOMC later on. Be interested to see what the US markets look like at open, if there's going to be inactivity in anticipation for the FOMC announcement. But interest rates are usually quite a big thing. So it looks like we're going to be stung a little bit here. And there it goes. Alright, stopped out. I'll set it up again. Yeah, let's go for. Yeah, so we're looking rangy now. Nice and positive off of the open. And then a big pullback. So that stuck us in a bit of a hole today. Down 17 points. Yeah, and there's that weakness in the FTSE that I was seeing. So I believe all-time highs in the DAX as of, when was that? A week or two ago. Are you going to retest? I don't know. I don't think it'll be anytime soon, really. That's a big jump, but previous day's highs, maybe. But as for right now, we are ranging like a bugger. FTSE is dropping. Just looking at the movement here, I'm not opposed to a long position. Let's see what's going on in the world of YouTube while we wait. I like to listen to trading psychology stuff while I'm in the markets, just to reinforce. Just going to mute the microphone for a bit. Alright, so we're short again. Nasty little trading range that's now established itself here in the DAX. So we are hopeful that it's going to break out to the downside here. So we've been filled. All we can do now is manage. And the further hope is that we don't get messed around in this range too much. We have already once. Took the loss. Get back on the horse. It seems strange to think that we were short and then took a loss and now we're short again. But I did decrease my risk by about 10 points. And even though price didn't get up to where my stop loss was originally, you know, that's looking at it in hindsight. Market could have very easily carried on going. So I'm not resentful about taking that loss. We'll see if we can get a nice little breakout here. This is a game of probabilities. I don't think I set this up to... So I want this auto break even at 20 points. Yes, I'm going to mute the microphone. I'm just, like I said, I'm listening to some psychology videos here off the side, so I'm just going to let this trade run in the background. There's no point in me just sitting here and if anybody does watch, listen to my sniffing and coughing and whatever else. So I'll check back in a little bit, see where we are. So it's quite amazing how you can go from 10 points in profit to 10 points under so quickly. It takes forever to get you into 10 points worth of profit, but it's so quick to get you 10 points in the minus. So quick. And by the way that this is just looking from a retracement point of view, it's quite a deep retracement. I was trying not to get the stop loss to break even too quickly. I was hoping it was going to run a little bit further. We would have seen some follow through, but there was absolutely zero follow through on this next 15-minute candle. It literally just stopped and went the other way. So not a great sign. Not a great sign. So those are all little aspects that starts playing on your brain, because every other time that I've rushed to get my stop loss to break even after 10 to 15 points, market has turned around and stopped me out for break even before going back in my favor. And then when you try and discipline yourself to just ease off on moving that stop loss to break even too quickly, you have cases like this where it just rockets straight back up and you find yourself 10 points underwater so quickly. And you say to yourself, why the hell didn't I move my stop loss to break even? So it's a bit of a catch-22 from a psychological point of view, as to kind of which path you choose. I've decreased my risk slightly on this 5-minute bars high here. So again, if we get back up there, I don't want to be in the trade anymore. But we seem to just be whipping around in this trading range now, and it's going to cost me 40 points on the day if I get stopped out here, and I'm not interested in that anymore. Trying to be disciplined here and slow to take profit, but then I have these cases that just absolutely diminish my psychology, and I'm trying so hard to work on that. A loss is a loss. I don't dispute that. I'm not worried about that. It's the circumstances that lead up to it and the decisions that I've made that seem to cause it every time. And when I am proactive on a trade from a managing point of view, it always seems to bite me in the arse. Last night I took a brunch break on the Dow, and it was going in my favor and then against me, and then in my favor and against me, until eventually it wore me down to the point where I closed the trade out for 11 points, to which the market then plummeted in my favor about 130 points, which killed me. Absolutely killed me. So why I'm kind of laying all of this out is because you watch these videos on psychology and they tell you got to do this and you got to accept these losses and it's probability this and that, and I understand all of that, but in my mind, each trade from a probabilistic point of view, fine, and I accept that completely. But it's so difficult to accept when you have cases where you're trying to manage a trade and it fails, when you do the right thing, and then when you try and be, well, I wouldn't say do the right thing, but when you may be a little bit too proactive on managing the trade, you get stopped out for break even, which is fine. That's happened to me I don't know how many times, and then the trade goes back in your favor and rallies or drops 100 points. And then you get cases where you get into the trade, it goes in your favor, for instance in this case 10 points, you blink and it's 10 points against you, which has now happened twice during this session. You say to yourself, well, what is the standardization then for managing the trade? Is there a standardization, or is it just on feeling every time? You know, so I mean, I was looking perhaps at this level here before it started to maybe turn around and bounce. I guess I don't really know what I'm trying to say. It's just, I guess it's just a level of frustration where you think you're managing it the right way, and you still have that psychological hurt that the market is so good at giving you. So like in this situation now, I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, we got within 5 points of stopping me out, and the market has dropped back down. Is that did I dodge a bullet? How do I manage the trade now? Do I wait? The market has given me an indication that there is strength. Do I wait further for the market to hopefully break down? Or do I look at this indication of there being absolutely buyers in the market and cut the position short? Again, it's a probability game, because I could cut the trade short and it falls all the way down to these lows, or I could let the trade run and it stops me out for another -20. And again, it's a case of I've got no issue psychologically taking a loss. It's just it starts to hurt the account. So psychologically I'm fine, but my account is crying, you know. And it's on a small account, it makes things even more difficult. I'd say that the psychological kind of barriers on a small account are much more difficult to overcome than I think on a greater account, especially I think when trading these instruments, and that I can't diminish the position size anymore. You know, it's not like on Forex where you can trade a micro lot, or, you know, 0.1, 0.01 in some cases. So, yeah, it's just I'm going to move this down further. If we get back above this level, I don't want to be in it. But the market has definitely shown me that there are buyers around. We've pushed all the way back up into this range, and we have come back down. So it's definitely telling me that there's a little bit of strength here. The FTSE is just diving. So I don't want to rush to snatch at profits, but at the same time, I got to look at what the market is telling me, and it's telling me that there's buyers around. So do I hope for a further breakdown and just resign myself to the fact that I'm risking now 16 points? It is what it is. Let the trade run. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out, which psychologically is fine from taking a loss point of view, but it's a big knock to my account. Close out the trade for 5.5 points and run the risk of it then breaking down further and leaving an additional 50 points on the table. So these are the kind of issues that I wrestle with. And that's why on the psychology side, it's no joke. It's not for the faint of heart. Anyway, we're back now to about 8 points in profit. I'm going to let it play out a little bit further. Just having a look if there is any point here where I can start decreasing risk a little bit further. I think the stop loss is adequate for now. It is right back into this high here, which might be a bit of a magnet. It's pulled the price back up there already once before. Let's see what kind of reaction we get out of this 15 minutes. Love to see some follow through to the downside. So I suppose it's like Mark Douglas says, you have to accept the risk completely, like 100%, and I think that's very difficult to do. Right, so about 13.5 points in profit now. Trying my best not to think about the previous trades and the loss incurred. This level over here I think is going to be pretty important. That may be a turning point. So if we do get down there, I think that's where I'll look at moving the stop to break even. If we get down there. We seem to already be coming up against a little bit of support here at this level. That's where we pretty much stopped and reversed the last time. Let's see if we can break that support level. If we could, that'd be great. That's about as much as I can decrease the risk now before getting it to break even. Maybe there. If we come back up now, then yeah, we hitting. I'm gonna I don't think we're going to get any further down right now. So we're pushing straight back up again off of this. But you know, that's trying to make predictions and it's not conducive. I think I'm doing the right thing. If it stops me out now for -3, it wasn't meant to be. Right, well there you have it. Getting really close to being stopped out now again. So I think this is just a rangy market once more. We've tested the tops, we've tested the bottoms. Yeah. So this is the brunch break bar that is starting to set up. We've got about 7.5 minutes left. But I think we're going to get stopped out here for another -3 points. We're really getting hammered now. It's actually getting quite serious. That's going to take us back up to -20 on the day. And I don't know. I don't know if it's a case of having to make a change here, not from a strategy point of view, but how I'm managing these trades. I'm trying to be as consistent as possible. Really am. I really am. I'm putting a lot of effort into it. It's just been a while now since I've had a good win, and it's taking a bit of a toll. I know again it's a probability thing, and you're gonna have a string of losers, but damn. It's a case of when it's in your favor and you still lose. It's gone. What is that? 15 points in my favor and I still lose. That, to me, I don't know. And that was me betting on it breaking down further. Now we're going to get stopped out here. I can just see the way that this candle's behaving. Yeah. Sorry, I just had to get that little bit of profanity out. Okay, so brunch break is going to set up in 4 minutes time. I think that's going to be the last trade that I take. Like I said, it's going to be a long day today. We've got still a lot of trading to do in the US session. But once again, a losing day. I've lost about $100 this week. And on my account, that's a pretty big drawdown. Well, it's a 10% drawdown. In a week. I suppose it's part and parcel. It's just the third time I've had a drawdown like that. I get into some profit and then I have a 8 to 10% drawdown period the following weeks. Well, this is raw trading, so sugarcoating anything here. I swear to you, if this thing drops now, okay, so brunch break at the moment is sitting up for a long above 714 and a short below 694. Got 2.5 minutes still to go. Oh, good grief. Now straight back up into the middle of the freaking range again. Whew, DAX. Alright, so that's the brunch break bar. Just gonna have a quick bathroom break. Okay, so brunch break long. Now we've been short twice, now we're long. So being able to pivot is quite important. If we do get up to the traditional, oh gosh, the traditional long side, I will look at it. Oh, come on, it's not too close. What is going on with this thing? I mean, if anything, we're really far away. I don't know why I always have this problem. Sheesh. I'm going to take it on a half position to add. That is infuriating. Okay, I might have to just enter it manually then. Now that's even assuming that we get up there, but I will look at adding at the traditional long side. Okay, I'm gonna mute for a little bit. I'm drinking coffee. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm at a loss. I am just getting hammered. Following my strategy, I feel as if I'm doing everything right, and I'm getting whipped. So, now I'm going to get stopped out here. Have reduced the risk, but just doesn't seem to be going my way today, or yesterday, or the day before. So, alright, I'm going to stop the stream here. I'm going to try and get back to baseline. Still got a lot of trading to do for the rest of the day. US session and FOMC a little bit later on. So, yeah, pretty sure I'm going to get stopped out here. So I'll just wait for that to happen, and then I'll end the stream. Another horrible, horrible morning. That's going to take us to negative 35 points on the day. Yeah. That's just the way that it's going at the moment. Happens to the best, but my account can't afford it. My mind can, my account can't. So I'm going to have to make a change with regards to either position sizing in the DAX. I'm going to have to look at being a little bit more picky on the entries. If we are ranging, I'm not even going to look at anything because yeah, it's starting to hurt. I haven't had a decent winner in, like I say, a while now. So I've got to just try and get my psychology back to base. But yeah, that's it. I think I'm going to end it there. So thank you very much. I might trade live the US session. I don't know. Not really in the mood. No, stopped out. Okay, thanks very much. Might see you later, might not. Bye bye.